Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a reaction video. So today I'm going to be reacting to a video that I saw which has actually touched my life, and I feel that I need to actually say something about this video. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Precious. Hello, thank you for being here, and I hope that you are well. Moving forward, I'm going to be making reaction videos that I see that I need to say something about, or the Holy Spirit leads me to say something about. I would make videos on them. So if you see any video you want me to say something about it, send it to me on Instagram, send it to me via Facebook, send it to me via my email, or just tag me on those videos and I would make a reaction video if I'm led to do so. This video is a video I saw. If you don't know, I live in the UK, and for the past couple of weeks a lot of things have been going on about screen time for children. A lot of things have been going on about phones for kids. I recently saw an article on the news where parents are calling that smartphones should be banned or should be taken away from children, and that has actually led me to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to make this video. So I'm going to be reacting to this video. Let me just stop talking and let us watch this video together.
Have you ever seen a child react like this?
Hey, no, give me the iPad.
Yeah.
After a phone or tablet was taken away from them?
What? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Because we just investigated this trend.
Mommy, what? Mommy.
Oh, not right now. Mama, will bring the iPad back later, okay?
And the results are disturbing. Nightfall, if this reminds you of a kid in your life right now, you definitely cannot skip this video. And the data I'm about to share with you is essential for anyone living in today's time.
He's just always in his own world. He really quiet for real unless he know you.
This is the dark future of iPad kids, also known as the Generation Alpha.
Apparently, this 8th grade kid cannot spell a single word correctly on this list.
We're talking about anyone in your family who is 13 years old or younger right now. Kids who were born at the same time as the iPad in 2010. Kids who at 8 years old already had their first phone. And they're the only humans in the history of the world to have grown up with a gadget as...
So should smartphone be taken from children? I don't know. Should smartphone be taken from children of certain age? I don't know. But at the end of this video, you'll be able to tell where I stand. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide. I think it's high time for parents to start becoming parents. When I mean parents, becoming parents, meaning that you're there to guide your child, you're there to look after your child, you're there to help them to become better. So if taking their phones away from them, because you can see that certain things are beginning to happen as a result of this phone, it's wise to take it away from them, prepare them, and give it back to them.
a babysitter.
Yeah.
Mama, bring it back, okay?
I mean, some of these kids haven't even experienced what it's like to get dirty and play outside with neighbors. They literally cannot comprehend a life without social media. And sadly, their parents have chosen the easy way out, using the iPad to shut them up. And don't get me wrong, I can kind of understand you. Many of you parents are just tired. That's why you do this. At least I want to hope so. But see, the temporary relief of 5 minutes when you're letting a gadget take care of your crying child has a permanent curse in exchange, and it lasts for a lifetime. And it's
Don't get me wrong, there are times as well where most of us are guilty of this, guilty of giving the children phone when we go out for meals so that we don't get embarrassed, having that time where we did it, all of us did it. But the thing is that we need to learn, we need to change. When we go out for social events, let our children be present. Let's not give them something to just completely shut them and isolate them. They need to be present. When we're traveling, they need to be present. We need to do things.
important to say that this isn't just my opinion. This is data. Just recently, school teachers came out saying these iPad-raised kids are doing really bad.
Teachers who have taught their entire lives are just up and quitting their jobs now because they can't handle these kids anymore. The iPad kids are out of control.
They can easily tap on touch screens, but cannot do basic things like reading or writing.
They quite literally don't have the muscles built in their hands to write properly or have the stamina to write because these kids weren't using their hands enough. As
my daughter came home, my daughter Phoebe, she is 11. Phoebe is the only person in her class that does not own a phone. I kid you not. And the amount of pressure she gets, every time she comes to me, she says, "Mommy, I need a phone. I'm the only one that don't own a phone." I feel sorry for her. I know that I'm doing the right thing, but at the same time, I feel so sorry for this girl because it breaks my heart. It makes her feel like, oh, she doesn't know what's going on. But I know that I'm doing the right thing for her and I'm trying my best. In our house, you're only allowed to have a phone when you're in high school for security and for safety. And they have limited time. There are certain things that we've put in place in our house, which I'm going to be sharing with you at the end of this video.
children,
They tend to also get lower scores on language and critical thinking. And sure, they know how to navigate digital apps, but in exchange, they are years late in their education.
I teach 7th grade, they are still performing on the 4th grade level. Are you joking right now? And these are future leaders, our future doctors, our future nurses, our future... Please.
And because many of them were pretty much raised by an emotionless gadget that doesn't care about them, they're growing up to be, well, the same way.
Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life. They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up. They're throwing things at each other.
For more data, if your child is getting more than 2 hours of screen time daily, a long-term study has showed that they are likely to have emotional, social, and attention problems.
Kids cannot read. They cannot write. They are ill-mannered.
Since looking at the screen for a long time limits children's ability to read faces, they get a harder time learning social skills and even empathy. Which leads to kids who might act like this. Like they have anger issues, because when you train them to have everything in an instant, they don't even get to learn about patience.
I'm taking away your iPad.
At the end of the day, we need to raise children that have empathy, that will have a good social life, that will be able to control themselves, regulate their emotion, that will be able to have a good life when they grow up. We don't want to raise children that would just leave them out there just like that. It's amazing just watching this video. It breaks my heart as a parent. It makes me feel sad on how we're letting our kids down. Kids are not able to write, kids are not able to spell, kids are not able to do the things they're supposed to be doing as children, spending their time on the phone, spending their time on the tablet.
Give me the iPad.
They don't even get a chance to be challenged or learn how to cope with difficult feelings.
Okay.
Alright. They detach and disconnect.
Well, then you can read and
And it is so heartbreaking that all of this wrong exposure is happening at such a crucial age. Because, for even more data, at the early age of 5, up to 90% of a child's brain has already developed, meaning whatever their brain learns within this period will lay the foundation of how they will be as an adult.
Look, there's your books down there. You wanna read a book with Dad? You want an iPad?
And guys, the reason why this is so urgent is because when it's too late to catch up on all these things because your child or your sibling or whoever was too busy only watching the screen, scientifically, it might be too late to revive them later on in their life.
But I take a closer look and she's playing a YouTube short and the mom looks
pissed. Like she is totally out of it.
Only time will tell how bad it could get. But given the alarming data in 2017 that nearly 80% of children have access to a tablet and that 1 out of 4 preschool-age kids has a digital device, we might be raising an entire generation of future adults who will not know how to innovate because they rarely played with toys that sparked their imagination.
They probably have no imagination because their brain hasn't actually been forced to come up with any original thought.
Who are more short-sighted than ever, ironically more connected but also more lonely and likely untrusting.
2 hours is what we spend as screen time in our house. Every device has a time that it opens and a time that it locks. And every device, everyone has a profile on the device that everybody uses, for example the tablet, and they all have 2 hours. So if you spend 2 hours, if you finish it and that's it, whether you still in the afternoon, you've used it and that's it, it finishes. They all know. And this video we've just watched, I took time and I watched it with my kids and they saw it, and I kid you not, they got it. There's no need to enforce something from a place of just forcing it on them, but it's good to enforce something when they understand where it's coming from. So if you have kids that understand, kids that can watch something and understand it, it's best for them to sit down, all of you, watch this video, have a conversation about it, and also they will come up with what they think they need to do and what they don't need to do. So when you tell them it's time for you to switch off your laptop, your tablet and all of that, they would know because it's coming from a place of understanding. They're not being forced to do it. They know that you're doing it for their own good. So a typical thing of 2 hours, if 2 hours is your screen time, let it be 2 hours your screen time. Another thing we do is that to only go on the laptop and watch TV only on weekends, and it has to be 2 hours. They know that if you go over your 2 hours, right, the next day you're not going to go on the screen because you've used up the 2 hours. So let's say they spend 1 hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes. The next day they're going to only spend 1 hour, 30 minutes because they've used 30 minutes. And if they go way over it, then that's it. The next day they're not going to have screen. So these things have to be put in place because it's for their own good. I always say to my children, look, whatever you're doing is for your own good. You're not doing it for me, you're doing it for yourself. Everything I'm trying to do is to help you to become a responsible adult in the future. And they have time where it locks. Parents, it's time for us to start using gadgets to secure or save our children. Things like the Microsoft and safety, things like Family Link, different kind of gadgets or things, apps out there that you can use to lock. If you can be able to tell what the kids are doing. A lot of apps that our kids are not supposed to go on are the kind of apps that they go on, and we need to stop them. We can stop them from that. And that's also the reason I don't post certain things on YouTube. I don't, because why should I put the most vulnerable part of my family or the most vulnerable part of my kids out there? I can put anything about me. I was able to put, when I was having Naomi, I put it out there because that's me. But when it comes to the children, it has to be another level of vetting. The truth of the matter is that anything that my husband does not approve and the kids don't want me to put out there, I am not going to put it out there for content. My children are not for content. Your children should not be for content. We need to protect them as much as possible. So this video is not something that would make us to be upset or want to fight. It's something that should make us to reflect, to have a sober reflection and see the things that we can change as parents to make us better parents. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've gotten something from this video. Let God help us to be better parents. Let's do what we can and let God do for us the things that we can't do. If not, in the nearest future, in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, we will have kids that we will be scared of going outside. We will be scared because these children don't care. They don't have empathy. They don't care. And that's why when you see the level of bullying going on now in schools, even to this, don't get me wrong, bullying has always been there, but we have a way of fighting out for ourselves when we are being bullied. But children nowadays don't even have a way of fighting. The tiniest problem that they face, they give up. So we need to start teaching empathy You start teaching emotion regulation. You start teaching them how to be social. Let them go outside and play. Let the children go outside and play. Let the children go outside and play. I'm talking to myself as well.
Depression, ADHD, dysmorphia, and all the other mental health issues.
That so many parents who grew up without iPads, without iPhones, without smart devices, act as if they have no clue what to pull out if they take the iPad away.
That's why it's just so ironic, because Steve Jobs himself, who created the iPad, once said that he would never allow his own kids to use them.
The Apple founder actually would not let his own kids play with computers.
Because he himself knew he created an addictive machine that is specifically manufactured for your kids to get hooked. Yes, your kids are being targeted with overstimulation, with YouTube channels like Cocomelon, using the brightest colors, flashing lights, and memorable music, all acting like stimulants in children's minds. They won't be able to resist this. They are almost hypnotized by it. And soon, like junkies who need to get their next fix, everything else to them in the real world will pale in comparison.
But won't even watch the hockey game because they're too busy playing a game of hockey on the iPad instead of watching the hockey in real life.
Because now that they are raised by the algorithms, they are bored by reality. Until the online world they always watch starts to blend with their real life, and they find it difficult to see the difference between both. I mean, let's be honest, I'm sure you've noticed how some kids these days already speak and act like they are in videos. And perhaps the most disturbing thing is not just what they watch, but who is watching them. If you don't guard your child enough, they can encounter evil channels on YouTube or TikTok that fool kids with twisted versions of cartoons.
On the left of the screen, there's the real episode of Peppa Pig, and on the right, that fake that you're talking about, fear, torturous appearance.
If you post your kid's face on social media, it can be free for any creep to view and download. And if you don't monitor what music or shows they consume, they will start idolizing questionable people, normalizing horrible things way too soon.
You guys' daughters are twerking at 5. 5! Where's the parenting?
But, Nightfall, hearing all of these concerning things, is the problem really with the iPad, or is the problem with the parenting?
This will be her first iPad, but she had 3 tablets. Currently on the 3rd one right now, because the other 2 broke. But yeah, moms, what do you all think? I might get it for her either way.
Because while these future problems are very real, it's also true that these gadgets do help the kids be smarter too. After all, the iPad is only just a tool. It's all about making sure you use the tool and not let the tool use you. Finally, how can you save your kid from this dark future? It's simple. Embrace being a parent and let your kid be a kid. When they throw a tantrum, talk to them through it. Don't just give them the tablet to get peace.
That's why the iPod's up there on top of that cupboard, so little boys don't get it.
Let them go outside and touch grass. Let them have the same rich childhood you had. Because boredom is really where their creativity can shine. And if you absolutely have to give your kid that iPad, make sure they are at least 3 years old, and please keep it to a minimum until they learn to never look for it anymore.
What do you want?
I want the iPad.
I told you can't have it.
Until they finally realize that real life and real experiences will always be way more special.
I need everybody else in my generation to promise that we are not going to raise iPad children. Please.
Nightfam, with an open heart and genuine interest to make this world a better place, please share this video with your friends and family. If you believe that iPad kids deserve a better future, and if we care enough to make this come true, we should start by giving them a better childhood.
So we've seen the video. It's amazing. A lot of these things are not actually the fault of these children. They're actually our fault as parents, and we actually need to just step up as parents.